Okay. Hello everyone. So it is Devabrata. So I will not waste my time by introducing myself. Okay, so you can visit my blog to know me better. So all the links are provided in the detail section of this video. So you can go through that. But I will say one thing. I was a slow learner, or you can say I was a late learner, because I started programming around in my college days. Till my school days, I do not have any computer subjects, but in my college days I have started that. But in first 2 years I was really scared of, because my friends, my college mates used to say, talk about for loops, if, string, logics and all. So I was really scared of programming. But after that started I did my first program on third year. Okay. So third year in college life. So I will suggest you to do all the programmings by your hand. It will not be okay if you just only go through the programmings and means go through the video and that's all. That will not be enough. So it will be good if you do the programming by your hand, and after that you solve the exercise. So the links of the exercise is provided at the last of the video, how to find those exercise. So that will be good. Okay. So please practice by your hand, then it will be improved. And time is precious, so do not waste time. Okay. So today my topic is for loop, because for loop is very important. One, if you are good at for loop, you will be good at programming. But if you are weak in for loop, then yeah, you will be weak in the programming as well. So for loop is the main one. So I have segregated for loop in different parts. So today the first part I will show you, that is for loop series. And for loop patterns and for loop application, pattern means star 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 star, those kind of thing. It will be found in the different set of video. Okay, you can go through all the links. I will prefer to start from the very first video with starting programming, then if, and then come to for loop. But if you know that, it will be good. And no prior knowledge is needed. Okay, no prior knowledge is needed for loop. So if you are new to for loop, it will be okay. But you need, I need some time from you to practice it. Okay. If I am a bit quick or I may be a bit slow during the video, so you can pause my video and learn that stuff and practice it in your QBasic software. Okay. So that is important. Okay. I will not waste more time. So directly I am going into the for loop example. So why do we use the for loop? So suppose there is a requirement like how to print first 10 natural numbers. So what is the natural numbers? It is 1 2 3 4, kind of that till 10. So how to print those 10 natural numbers? So if we do not know for loop, so our solution would be like print. Okay, you can give a start or anything. So anyway, the print 1 2 3 4, kind of that would be our solution. But it is not good. Okay, because, okay, let me run it first. Because if someone asks you to print 100 numbers, so will that be okay to print all the numbers manually? No, that would not be good. Okay, it is taking some time. Are you able to see the output screen? It is printing 1 2 3 4. Okay, but it is not the good way to print, because I have to write all the numbers by my by hand. So there should be some shortcut. So what is the shortcut? The shortcut is you can introduce a for loop. So what is the syntax of for loop? For I equals to the starting value. The starting value of our series is 1 to the end value. The end value is 10. And inside the for loop body, you can print the value of I. Okay. And after that, next I. Next I is the mandatory one. Okay. There is no function, because there is no extra function of this next I line, because the for is being controlled by I variable. So next I is mandatory line. Okay. So I 1 to 10, the starting value, the ending value, and the work you want to do. So you want to print the value of I. Okay. So that is important. So if I run the program now, so what it will give 1 to 10. Okay, my compiler is taking some time, so it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 9 10, kind of that. So if I write my name here, okay, Devobrata, say, okay, sorry, okay, Devobrata. So it will print my name 10 times. So it is not mandatory that you need to print the value of I every time. You can do many things. You can print your school name, you can print your name. So number of times it will be 10, number of times it will be printed. If I write 5 here, so my name will be printed 5 times. So that is the benefit of the for loop. Okay, so if you want a repetitive work, so for loop is the best way to do that. Okay, so let me show you the benefit of for loop is repetitive work. No meaning to write the same line multiple times when you have for loop in your hand. Okay, and solution for more complex work. Okay, I'm not going to teach you the theoretical lesson because I always prefer for the practical one. Okay, so if you know the practical things, if you are able to do the if you are able to solve the logic by yourself, then I think you will be able to read those theories as well. Okay, so anyway, so how to print all natural numbers till 100? Okay, so let me go to the compiler once again. So it will be 1 to 100 and numbers. So I will print I. It is very simple. Okay, print I. So if I run, it will print all the 100 numbers one by one. Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah, okay, my compiler is not showing the value above, so that's why it is starting from 78. So if I can somehow scroll up, it will show other values as well. Anyway, so if I put a semicolon after the printed value, I think some of you know that already. So if I put a semicolon after the printing statement, it will not change the line. Okay, let me test it. So it is a small thing. No need to focus on that because today we will focus on the only on the for loops. Look, all the numbers are printed on the same line. Okay, it is not like one enter a new line, then two enter a new line. Not like that. One by one, all the numbers has been printed. Okay, now you can see all the numbers in a second. Okay, we do not need to write all the numbers one by one. Okay, let's go to the next program. What else we can do? Okay, if it asks all even numbers till 50, okay, it is a great problem. It's a good one. So it is 2 to 50 we will write. 2 to 50, but if we write 2 to 50, it will print 2 3 4 5 6 like that. It will not print even numbers. So what I need to do, there will be a third statement, step 2. Okay, step 2 means it will jump like from 2, then it will be 4, jump by step 2. It means like that. Okay, so now if we run the program, let's see what happened. Okay, look, it is printing 2 4 6 8 10 12 like that till 50. Okay, till 50. So that is the way you have to implement. So that's all for loop. That's all, really. That's all for loop. You do not need to learn any more syntax. Okay, so that's all. But now you need to think of some logic, how to use this for loop in better way. So my focus is really to show you the logics. Okay, and I want you to break the logic by yourself. Okay, so for loop, that's all about the syntax. Now onwards we will learn how to use this for loop in more efficient way. So now if anyone asks print all the odd numbers till n, n means we do not know means what will be the limit. So the limit will be given by the user. I think you all know how to input a number. Enter the limit. Suppose user will ask and it will be inserted into n. And I will iterate the for loop from 1 to n because it is asking for the odd numbers. So it will be 1 to n and step 2, right? So that is the way I am trying to use the syntax of the for loop in more efficient way. Okay, so let me give 20. So it will print 1 to 19, all the odd numbers within the limit of 20. Okay, good enough. So what else we can do? Suppose they have asked for all the even numbers till 50 in reverse order. So it is simple. It will be 50. It is asking for even numbers. So 50 to 2. And they are not asking for any input. So I will delete that line. 50 to 2. And remember, it will be step -2 because from 50, we have to come down to 48. After that, come down to 46. So it will be -2. Remember, okay? I will show what would happen if I give step 2. Okay, so yeah, 50 to 2. Okay, all the even numbers in the reverse order. So suppose, okay, let me delete this. Okay, so suppose if anyone by mistakes give step 2, so the for loop will try to increase from 50 to 52, kind of that. But we have written we need to iterate it from 50 to 2. Okay, so if it goes to 52, nothing would be printed. Nothing would be printed. Look, okay, nothing would be printed because I am saying computer, I am saying to QBasic compiler to increase by 2, whereas I have written in the for loop format like 50 to 2, so it will not work. Okay, but be cautious during writing your for loop programs, because suppose if you give if you have done any mistakes, it might go into the infinite loop. Okay, what is infinite loop? Look here. So I am telling computer like to print 50 to 2, but do not increase the step. Means start from 50 and then stay on 50 for forever. So computer will not understand how many 50s it needs to print. So it will start printing 50 infinite time. Look, it will be printed infinite time. Okay, sorry, it is not printing. Okay, the syntax is wrong. Anyway, it will print if I give suppose 1 to 50. Okay, so you have to be careful during writing your conditions. Look, okay, look, it is printing the number of ones infinite time. So you have to be very careful. Okay, so if you give any wrong syntax, it might go into the infinite loop. So you have to give proper syntax, like you have to print 1 to 50 and step 0 means it is not getting implemented. So you have to either give step 2 or, okay, let's test with step 3 what will happen. So it will be incremented from 1 to 4 and kind of that. Okay, so today we will okay, let's see the first output. Yeah, 1 4 7 10 30, like that. It is very simple, right? So today we will learn only 7 topics, only 7 topics. Okay, 7 topics of for loop to know the logic better. Syntax are the same. So those are the very small topics. So we will quickly cover all those topics. After that, you will be able to solve any for loop series, and you can refer to the exercise given at the last of this video. Okay, so printing a series till a value. So like if anyone asks, if in your question paper or anyone asks like to print 7, 11, 15, 19 till 50. So what I will do, I will start the series from 7, very simple, till 50, and the step will be 4. That's all. My compiler is taking time to run to show the output, but yeah, it will print the same. Okay, because we have already checked that. So this is the topic 1, we already know, but one difference is there. So if suppose anyone asks to print n terms means if anyone ask like to print 10 terms of this series. So we do not need to calculate 10 terms, because the people who likes mathematics, they will say, okay, I can calculate what will be the 10th term of this series. But people like me who do not like mathematics much, because I want my computer to do the mathematics. Okay, I will not do. Okay, I am a lazy person. So what will you do in that case to print till 10 terms? Then it is very important. I will use this for loop format. I will take a different variable called a, and I will give 1 to 10, so that this loop will be iterated 10 times. But as you know, I can print anything inside this for loop. I can print anything. I can print my name as well. So here I will print the value of I separately. So the value of I will be starting from 4. I will print the value of I means, okay, sorry. The value of I is 7 here. So the 7 will be printed, and after that, each time I will be incremented by 4. Okay, that means 7, 11. Okay, so it doesn't mean like if you are writing the for loop of variable a, and you have to print the variable a only. You can print your name, you can print your school name, even you can print some other values like I. Okay, and here as the for loop is being controlled by variable a, so you need to give next step because you have written the for loop for the variable a. Okay, but we are printing the value of I here. Look carefully. So we are using the for loop syntax, the same syntax we are using, but putting some logic. Okay, and we are not counting what will be the 10th term. Computer will be giving the 10th term. So it is the 10th term is 43. Okay, look, 10th term has been printed. Okay, cool enough. Okay, so my purpose is to use this for loop in very efficient way. So printing a multiplication series, okay, that is the unique one, 3, 9, 27. So you need to first understand what is the changing logic, means from 3, how it is going to change from 3 to 9, how it is going to change from 9 to 27. So it is kind of into 3, 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 3, 27, 27 into 3, 81. Okay. So, and it is asking for n terms. Look carefully. So what I will do, I will take an input, enter the number of terms. Okay, the number of terms. Okay, you might also do some mistakes, but learn from your mistakes. Okay, I do the same. So the series is starting from 3. Okay, and it will be 1 to n, because n times a will be iterating. Okay, and meanwhile I will print the value of I, and I will be incremented by into 3, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so that will the first value of I will be 3. After that, the I will be incremented by into 3. Okay, so let me run it quickly. Okay, it is taking some time. Okay, so it is asking for number of terms. I think you are getting some difficulties to see my output window, but you can pause the video and check it carefully. If I may be fast enough, so if I am fast, please pause the video and go through the coding. Okay, slowly. So I am giving 6. Okay, I need 6 terms only. Look, it is printing 6 terms, and it is automatically calculating the the series. Okay. Okay, so let me move to the, I think topic 1 has been covered. Okay, I will go quickly. So topic 2, I will learn to print combination of positive and negative number. So suppose anyone gives the series like this, 7, 11, 15, 19 till 10 terms. So I will say you I will ask you to first print the normal series without giving those plus and minus sign. Okay, so first I will print the normal series, and it is till 10 terms. Okay, so I do not need this one. Let me delete that. Delete the input line. Okay, so 10 terms, 7, 11. Okay, so I will be starting from 7, 1 to 10. 10 terms mean 1 to 10. And I will print I, and I will be incremented by 4. Yeah. So by doing that, we'll be able to print the normal series. So again, I will suggest to print the normal series first. 7, 11, 15, 19, 23, kind of that. Then think how to print the minus thing. So to print the minus thing, you can see all the even numbers, means the numbers in even positions are negative. So how your program will know what is the even position? So to know the position is even or odd, we can use the value of a, because the value of a is 1 at first. After that, the value of a is 2. We are not printing the value of a anywhere, but the value of a is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, kind of that. So we can use that value of a. I think you all know what is if. Okay, if you do not know, you can visit my previous videos. Okay, so if a mod 2 equals to 0, then I will print minus I. I am going a bit slow, but look it carefully. Else, if A is not even, then I will print I. And it will be end if. If is ended, and I will be increasing normally. It is not dependent, the increment of I is not dependent on if else part. So that's all. Whenever the value of A is even, means the position is even, I will print minus I. Else, whenever it is odd, I will print plus I. Okay. Okay. I forgot to give the semicolon. It is good to do mistakes. Even I am a human being, so even I commit some mistakes. So yeah, that is normal. So look, that is printing the plus minus series successfully now. So, okay, I think you are able to get the idea. Okay, so second series is till 50 they are asking for. So what is my suggestion? To print the series first till 50. Okay, let me do it from 0, from scratch. Okay, so for I equals to 7 to 50, step 4, if they ask for 7, 11 kind of thing, and print I, and next. Okay, I forgot to mention one thing, you can give end. Okay, but it is not mandatory to give end at the end of your program. Okay, so let me run it first. I want to print the series first till 50. If it is successful, then I will think something to print the plus minus 1. Okay, it is giving the series successfully. Okay, so I will how to accommodate the even position. So the same thing here, I will introduce another variable a, and as the for loop node belongs to a, I will control the variable a separately. Look, okay, and a will be controlling the if only, and the for loop is being controlled by I. Okay, I think I don't know if you are able to understand or not, but it is a simple logic. Okay, so I need a to control the if on if, but to print the series I do not need a. It is enough if we use I. Okay, a simple one. Okay, so whenever the value of a is even, then I will print minus I. Okay, and whenever it is odd, I am going slow, it is I. If you are able to understand, it is very good. Really, it is very good because it is a unique concept. So if you are able to understand, it is very good because it means you are learning for loop quite well. Okay, so I think it is good enough. Okay, okay, let's see what is the output. It should give the correct one. Yeah, 7, 11, minus 11, 15, minus 19, 23, dot, 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 till 47, means less than 50. Okay, I think you are good at it. We have a last series like 7, 11, minus 15. Okay, I want to mention another thing who loves mathematics. For the people who loves mathematics, you can put your logic in a separate way, like you can introduce a p1, the variable p, and we do not need a at all. If you can print I into p. Okay, so 7 into p means 7 into 1, 7 will be printed. After printing each value, p will be changing itself by -1, multiplying with -1. Okay, means the value of p will be -1. 1 into -1 is equal to -1. Listen carefully. If you want to rewind the video a bit, you can rewind. But the value of p will be 1 at first. After that, the value of p will be 1 into -1, means -1. And next time when I will be 11, it will print 11 into -1, means -11. Okay, so by doing that as also you will be able to solve this series, means series number 2. I'm not going to series number 3 as of now. So look, you can print it like this way. Okay, but if you are not able to understand this one, just skip it. Okay, because this even I do not use this way to get the values printed. Okay, so you can skip it if you are not able to understand. Okay, but if you are able to understand the logic, it is good. So you can solve a series or you can solve a logic in many ways. Whatever comes into your mind, you follow that only. Okay, so my purpose is only to learn you to solve the logics by yourself. Okay, so but in case of series number 3 in my screen, 7, 11, -15, you cannot use this mathematical formula p. Okay, then we need to go back to our old way. So a equals to 1. I think you all know the way right now. So if a mod 3, so every third term now is even. So whenever the value is divisible by 3, means the value is divisible by 3 means if the value is 3, if the value of a is 3, or the value of a is 6, or the value of a is 9, then only print -n. Okay, I am again forgetting to put a semicolon. Okay, else, okay, I forgot to put then. Okay, else print I. Okay, and after that a equals to a plus 1. Okay, let me check the series. Okay, it is asking for 10 terms. Okay, sorry, it is asking for 10 terms. Okay, let me do it correctly. Then I equals to 7. A is normal. A will control the loop. Sorry, A will control the loop. Okay, I think you are means you are now able to understand what I'm doing. And I will be after the end if I will be I plus 4. And the loop will be controlled by A. So next step. I think you are able to understand the logic. Look carefully. I think you are able to understand. So good. Let me run the series. If there is no mistakes made by me, every third term will be printed negative. Okay. Yeah, it is giving the correct result. 7, 11, -15. Okay, the loop is being controlled by A because it is 10 terms. Even I am learning it from the exercise. It is 10 terms. So it will be controlled by A. Okay, and the value of I will be controlled separately. I will write I equals to I plus 4 separately. Okay, good enough. So we are done with topic 2, I guess. Yeah, we are done. So let us move to the topic 3, that is the incremented difference. Like 5, 6, 8, 11, 15. If you look carefully, the value, okay, let me delete everything. So the value of 5 plus 1, and it is giving the second term 6. I am going slow. Okay, 6 plus 2 equals to 8. 8 plus 3 equals to 11. So the difference itself is changing. It is not like the previous that every time I will do plus 4, plus 4. So at first it will be plus 1. After that it will be plus 2, kind of that. So it is 10 term. Let me start with A. For A equals to 1 to 10. 10 terms, simple. And after that I will print I. Okay, and next A. That is normal. So what will be the first value of I? Obviously the first value of I will be 5. And now I cannot write a statement like I equals to I plus 1 or I plus 2 or I plus 3. So instead of giving different number, I will put a D. D means the difference. Okay, you can take any other values, but for simplicity, simplicity to understand the logic, I am using the variable D. D means difference. Okay, you can take any other variable X, Y, Z, anything. So I am putting 1 into the variable D. Okay, so D is 1. So first time I will be incremented by 1 because the value of D is 1. But immediately after this line, I will increment the D by 1. Means after that line, the value of D will also get incremented and D will be 2. So next turn, next iteration, when the value of I is 6, it will be, I will be changing like I equals to I plus D. That means the value of D will be 2 at that time. Means 6 plus 2, it will be 8. And after that, D will be changed to 3. D will be changed to 3. D equals to D plus 1. So, okay, I will suggest you to repeat this part of video and go carefully. Okay. So, and if you are able to understand this logic, it is really good. It is really good because we are solving a harder problem, and I will must suggest to go through the exercise at the last of my video. Okay, so 5, 6, 8, 11 and 15 and like that. So it is printing it correctly. Okay. Okay, good, very good. Okay, so let me go to the next series. It is trying to print 1, 4, 9, 16, 10 terms. Again, A equals to 1 to 10, but the value of I is starting from 1. And the difference, look, 1 to 4, the starting difference is 3. After that, when it is changing from 4 to 9, the difference is becoming 5. Okay, 5. That means 3 difference was previously 3, and when I'm changing from 4 to 9, it is becoming 5. When I am changing from 9 to 16, the difference is becoming 7. So every time the difference is incrementing by 2. Okay, so I equals to I plus 2 and difference is becoming incremented, is getting incremented by 2. Okay, I think you are able to understand that. Okay, so if I run the problem, let me check if it is giving the correct 10 terms. Yeah, it is giving the correct 10 terms. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, anything. Okay, so now we can follow another way. It is not a part of implemented logic, but if you want, you can delete all those and you can put your own logic. Like 1 means 1 square, 4 means 2 square, 9 means 3 square, 16 means 4 square, kind of that. So I will print A into A. A is 1, 2, 3, 4. If I print A, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I print A into A, it is 1 into 1 means 1, 2 into 2 means 4, kind of that. So whatever comes to your mind, you follow that way. It is not mandatory to follow my logic. Okay, I will help you to build your own logic. That is my purpose. It is not dependent on the programming language. You might solve your program in QBasic, you might solve in your program in uh, Python. So that doesn't depend on the language, because syntax, we have already learned the syntax. We will not going to learn any more syntax in for loop. It's all about this. Okay, but we need to think the logic in more efficient way, and I am trying to put that logic into your mind. Okay, that is my purpose. So I'm not going to learn like other videos or like your academic syllabus. I am trying to put the logic into your mind. Okay. Okay, so I think we have covered topic 3 as well. So let's move quickly to the topic 4. What is there in topic 4? Okay, spatial series. So we only have one topic here, one problem. So 222, 222, kind of that, and till n terms. So if they are asking for n terms, we will again go to the input statement. Input, enter the number of terms. Okay, and it is n. Okay, given by the user, and I will iterate the loop of a till 1 to n because it is n terms. Okay, now it is asking for a series like 2, 2, 2, kind of that. So the first value of I will be 2 and I will print I. Okay, and the next value of I will be, it is more mathematical. Okay, so I into 10 plus 2. But I am a lazy person. I do not want to do much mathematics. So I will prefer computer to calculate the same. So what will do, what computer will do? It will 2 into 10 plus 2, it becomes 22. After that, 22 into 10 plus 2, it is 222. You can use your calculator even, because I do not like to calculate myself. Okay, I always use calculator or my computer to do that same. Okay, I forgot to run. Okay, let me run it quickly. You should give the correct result and we will be done with our topic. Okay, number of terms, let me give only 5 terms. I don't want computer to do much. Okay, it is giving the calculation quickly. It seems computer also like to solve the mathematics. Okay, topic 4 is done. We have to cover 7 topics. Topic 5, the Fibonacci series. It is super important for your exam, super important. So Fibonacci series means 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. So how it is being calculated? You have to remember the first 2 term only. It is 0 and 1. The third term, concentrate on the third term. It is 0 plus 1 equals to 1. What about the fourth term? 1 plus 1 equals to 2. What about the fifth term? The sum of the previous 2 terms, 1 and 2, 3. 2 and 3, it is becoming 5. 3 and 5, it is becoming 8. So they need 10 terms like this. So what I will do? First, I will delete all the input lines. It will be 1 to 10 because they are asking for 10 terms only. Okay, I will delete everything. Okay. So first, I will take the first value. First value is x. Let's say x is equal to 0. The second value is y and equals to 1. So the full series will be dependent on these first 2 numbers, 0 and 1. So what I will do first, I will print the value of x. It will print the 0. That means the first term here. After that, what I will do? To determine the third term, I will do sum equals to x plus y. Means the third term. In my screen, it is 1. Okay. So after that, because we have already printed the first term, x will take the value of y and y will take the value of sum. Okay, I think if you have problem, I am repeating once again. Suppose in this case 3 and 5, suppose the value of x is 3, the value of y is 5. So okay, so the value of say x equals to 3 and y equals to 5. Okay, so what I will do? I will do first sum. Sum equals to x plus y means 8. After that, x will take the value of y, means x will take the value of y means 5, and y will take the value of 8 means 8 here. And again we will calculate 5 plus 8, it is 13. And after that again x will take the value of y, that is 8, and y will take the value of sum. So that is the logic. If you are able to understand, I must appreciate. Okay, because it is the toughest logic in the for loop series. Let me run it quickly. Okay, it is taking time. I think computer is taking time now to calculate. Okay, look, it is giving the correct result. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, like that. Okay. Okay, so I will suggest you to pause the video and revert it back if you are getting any difficulties. Okay, because it is the logic. Look, the for loop syntax is same. We are just playing with the logics. Okay, we are playing with the logic. Okay, topic 5 done quickly. Good. So topic 6, we are almost near to the end. Print the series like this, the compound series where we have 2 different numbers. Look, okay, here it is 10 terms. Okay, then a 1 to 10. I will introduce x as 5, y as 6. Okay, let me delete all this line because we do not require this. So I will print a bracket. Okay, after that the value of x. After that, the plus sign as mentioned in the series. After that, y, the value of y. And after that, the second bracket. Okay, and put a semicolon. Okay, and how the value of x, okay, look, this has been automatically changed. If you are getting any difficulties to print any line, I will prefer to go to the QBasic first video, the starting programming, how to learn what is the how to print a statement, how to print a line. So you will be able to learn this thing. Okay, this is very much easy. So anyway, so the value of x getting changed. Look, the first term, the first value of every term is incremented by 2 every time. 5, then 7, then 9. And the second value, the 6, is getting incremented by 1 every time. 6, 7, 8, and all. So what I will do, x will be plus 2 quickly and y equals to y plus 1. Done. Okay, let me run it. Just let me know if you are getting any difficulties to understand this problem. Okay, you can comment on the video section. You can reach out to me via mail if you are getting any difficulties. Okay, it is printing in the same line. Okay, let me do some difference. Let me delete this semicolon and I want to print it in the separate line to have a good visual. Okay, yeah, look, 5 plus 6, 7 plus 7, 9 plus 8, like that till 10 terms. Okay. Okay, I will again suggest you, if you face any difficulty, to go back and see this part of video and do it by yourself. It is mandatory. Do it by yourself. Okay. So, okay, we have another one in the topic 6. 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 10 terms. So it is very simple. I do not require y here. I do not require y because only one term is getting changed in the denominator. So, what I will do, I will print 1 and after that a slash, after that the value of x, the value of x, and x is getting incremented by 1 every time. Okay, it is very simple. At first it will be printed 1 by 1, that is similar to 1. I'm not focusing that part. Okay, what is wrong? Okay, sorry. Okay, even I have done some mistakes. Okay, so be careful. Okay, good one. Good example for you. Okay, so x will be starting from 1. Okay, so you have to do it carefully. Do not make mistakes like me. Okay, so 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, kind of that. Okay, good enough. Okay, so our topic 6 has been ended. So this is our last topic, to print the sum, and it is the common question in all academic syllabus. In all, when we will be starting for loop, it is a common question, how to print the sum of the series. So I will revise all of the programs we have done till now, but the difference is we will try to print the sum now. So first, to print sum, I will first print the series. So what is the series? For I equals to 7 to 50, sorry, to 50, step 4. And I will try to print I and next I. Okay, it will print the series. So to print the sum, first print the series. Then you do not need to validate the result. Okay, it will be correct if you are able to print the series successfully. Look, the series are being printed quite good. Okay, so now what I will do, to print the sum, there is 3 steps only, 3 steps. First step is introduce a variable sum equals to 0. Okay, a new variable, that is step 1. Second part is whatever you are printing, put that value inside sum. If you are printing sum, put that I into sum. Okay, throw that value of I into sum. Do not print anything, just throw the value inside sum. Okay, and the third step is, whenever the for loop is done, iteration has been done, we need to print the sum. the result is sum. Okay, so the three step again, you need to print the first line like sum equals to 0, introduce a new variable which will hold 0 at first. After that, if we are printing I, then we need to put the value of I inside sum. And the third part is after the for loop, after the next I, means after the for loop, it will be printing the value of I. So if I write this print statement inside the for loop, the different sum values will be printed inside the for loop. Multiple lines will be printed. So we do not want that. We need the total sum of the series. So it will be print, the result is sum after the for loop. Okay. So let me quickly run it. I'm not able to say what will be the exact value. So I will suggest you to use calculator to validate this value. If he is correctly printing this value or not. Okay. I think it is correct because the series was good. So the next series, we have already done this 7, 11, 15, 19, 10 terms. So what I will do, again the same step. Let me delete everything. Okay, I am doing it for you. I am deleting it and solving this, writing all the lines once again. It will create an impression on your mind like, okay, what should we do? We need to print the series. So print I equals to I plus 4. Yeah, I plus 4 and next A. Okay, so it will print the series. We have already checked the 10 terms. Let me do it quickly. If it is printing correctly, yeah, then our sum will also be correct. So first step, sum equals to 0. Whatever you are printing, what I am printing here, I am printing I. So I'm not going to print that. I will be putting that value of I inside sum. Okay, sum equals to sum plus I. And after the for loop, whenever it is done, I will printing the sum is or the result is whatever you want the sum. Okay. And again, I will ask you to validate the result using the calculator, or if you are good in mathematics, you can do it by yourself. It is giving 250. Okay, good enough. I do not know the result. I think it is good. Okay, now a more complicated series, 7, 11, minus 15. We have already done this. So how to calculate the sum? I'm not going to run the sum equals to 0 and everything again and again. So, okay, let me do that for one last time. Let me do that for you one last time. So first I will print the series for A equals to 1 to 10 terms. Okay, and I will be 7 at first. Then what I need to do, even number, all third number is negative. That means if A mod 3 equals to 0, equals to 0, then print minus I. Yeah, I think I'm good. Else print I. All the positive number, it is correct. And end if, and I will be incremented by 4. Yeah, I 4, because 7 plus 4 11. Yeah, good enough. And at the last next, I think it will print our series successfully till 10 terms. Let me check. Okay, 7, 11, minus 15, 19, kind. Yeah, good. So again, the 3 step, do not need to think much. Sum equals to 0. Whenever we are printing something, we need to put that inside the for loop. No, inside the sum, sorry. So we are printing minus I, so we will put this minus I into sum. Okay, sorry. Put this minus I into sum. Okay, here we are printing plus I, so I will do sum equals to sum plus I, because we are printing the I previously. So everything else will be unchanged. Don't do anything with the logic. Everything else will be unchanged. So after that, I will print the result is, or the sum is sum. Let me run it quickly. I do not know what will be the answer. You can verify it by using calculator. It is 88. Okay, because there are some minus term. So yeah, it is 88. Okay. So yeah, good enough. So last, I don't think it is the last one. Okay, the another series 1, 4, 9, 16, 10 terms. So let me do it once again for you. Let me delete everything. Okay. So how to print this one? It was an easy one. For a equals to 1 to 10, and print a into a. I'm typing quickly. Okay, print a, and okay. So I think that is enough. And next a, it will print the series. We have already checked. Let me check. 1, 4, 9, 16, 10 terms. Okay, let me check the output. Where is the output? Yeah, it is giving 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. Okay, it is correct. So again, the old rule, sum equals to 0. And we, okay, look carefully. We are printing a into a. That means we will put a into a inside sum. Whatever you are printing, put that thing into sum. That is the logic. Okay, so we will be putting a into a inside sum, and after that the same rule, the sum is sum. Okay, I cannot verify the result. I do not know mathematics much. I prefer to computer to do the mathematics, so it is 385. I don't know. You can validate it using your calculator. What else we have? We have 222, 222 n terms. Okay, now n terms means we have to take an input from user. So a input, enter the number of terms n. We are almost done, I guess. Okay, I equals to 2. We have already done this program previously for a equals to 1 to n, I guess. Yeah, 1 to n. Print I, and I will be changed by 2 to 20, means I into 10 plus 2. I never remembered this logic. Okay, every time I do it fresh. Okay, computer is the only subject where you do not need to keep anything in your mind. On spot, think and write. Okay, that's why I like computer much, because I am a lazy person once again. So yeah. Okay, it is giving some time. It is taking some time. Okay, number of terms it is asking. Now I will give 5 terms. Okay, look, it is giving the result correctly. Okay, now if it is printing it correctly, then the sum is easy. What is the way? The first step is sum equals to 0. Whatever I am printing I here. So, sorry, I am printing I here. So I will not going to print it anymore. Rather, I will put sum equals to sum plus I. Okay, and after that I will print the sums. Okay, I think it will work anyhow. Okay, give me some small number this time to validate the sum. Let me give 3, means 2, 2, 2 and 2, 2, 2. It will be 2, 4, 6. Yeah, it is giving the correct result. Now I can validate. Okay, the simple sum. Okay, yeah. So is there anything else? Okay, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the compound series, the same thing. It is the 10. Okay, let me delete it. Okay, let me delete the first few terms this time. Okay, so 5, 6. Okay, so x will be starting from 5, y will be starting from 6, and for a equals to 1 to 10, because the 10 terms and they are print. Okay, I'm not going to print it anymore. I will be directly doing it. Sum equals to sum plus x plus y, right? Because I need the sum of both the values, and x will be changed by 2 every time, and y is 1, because we have already checked this series earlier. So I will not waste time. Okay, good enough. I guess I do not know the answer once again, but still you can validate the same by yourself. The same rule every time. Look, okay, it is giving 245, might be. Okay, if you have any doubt, okay, so we are done with all the topics. So if you have any doubt, you can, because we have learned a number of problems. So it is normal if you have doubt on one or two numbers or one or two series. I will prefer to go slowly and do it by yourself. Okay. So you can buy, you might visit to our Facebook group, and you will find exercise there. If you go to our Facebook group, the binary world. Okay, so the links are already provided. If you go to the photos, there will get an album. Okay, and in album you will get an album like okay, let me find it, coding exercise basic. So you can refer to this one, or you can refer to QBasic specific exercise. So if you go into QBasic specific exercise, you will get let me do it, let me find it quickly. Okay, you will get a exercise like this, 3.1 for series. So you can solve this exercise sheet. And if you face any doubt on doing that, you can reach out to me on this email ID or in the comment section below. Okay, and you can visit all the written for loop tutorial on this blogspot as well. Everything will be is mentioned in the detail section of this video. Okay, so best of luck. Okay, so solve it by yourself, and I think it will help you to learn the for loop series in a good way. Okay, not for academic syllabus only. And in the next video we will check how to print the patterns like star 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 and all. Okay, so best of luck. First solve the exercise. Okay, bye.